Roll back on into town. The sheriff is back. Yeah. Honestly, I feel like me getting the hell out of here for 2 weeks, it was kind of a long time coming, because I had a bunch of notes, so here's how I'm gonna explain to the deadbeats why I decided to take a 2-week break and what. I had a bunch of notes. I think I'm just not gonna read them. I think I'm not going to. I think I'm just gonna choose my words. There are two parts. There are two major parts to me being like, oh man, I gotta stop this for a little bit. Half of it is anger and disagreements with the company, and then half is my own issue. You know, you like ask over and over again, hey, can we fix this? Hey, look, I don't agree with this. I don't think this is fair and whatnot. And all you hear back is, all right, we'll send in your feedback. And then you never hear back. And then another problem happens, and then you put it on the list, and the list gets longer and longer and longer. And then at a certain point, I'm like, well, I'm gonna do something now. Every workplace ever, exactly. Every workplace. So my case isn't exactly special or anything like that. I do want to say it was not my intention to scare you guys, but I wanted to get Cover's attention. You know, this is what it was. I wanted them to message me and say, all right, what's going on? And I'm like, I'm happy you asked. And I wrote like the longest paragraph I've ever written in my life to my manager, who's done nothing wrong, by the way. And so I feel terrible, but I did what I had to do. And I feel like, it's just tough. I felt like there was nothing I could do. And one thing that I feel like is extremely like strong, my strong point that I'm actually really proud of, is that I have a very strong will. I'm like an extremely willful being, where I believe that if I put my nose to the grindstone and work super hard and just always go at it and give 100%, someday something good's gonna happen for me. And look at all the freaking wonderful things that have happened because of that. So I live with that like mindset, right? And so I felt like I lost my will. At a certain point, it sounds all dramatic, but I really did. I felt like it was gone. At a certain point, there was like a very specific straw that like broke the camel's back. That I might mention a little bit. My behavior's been a little rebellious though since I got kind of ticked off. Yeah, and I do kind of feel a little bad about it, but at the same time, when words aren't enough, you kind of have to take action. And I think the really rough situation, the rough truth of it is that I think a lot of people see me as like one of Cover's like biggest supporters for Holo, like so many times. As somebody who in the beginning was like on the fence, and then I became such a huge Holo fan. And so I know the weight of my words when I say I'm having issues with them. But so many other people have also done the same. And I've just kind of like, being quiet. But there's a reason for that. I'll give you the main reason why I don't usually voice my complaints publicly. Because it's a really complicated situation. But no matter what way you look at it, we, like us talents, we are Hololive. Like, and if people stop supporting Hololive as much as there's this beautiful sentiment of I want to support the talent, I want to support them. As so wonderful and pure-hearted as that sentiment is, if folks stop supporting Hololive, then we will stop being supported. And it's like a balancing act that, the only way that I can get their support back is if I like go indie or something like that, and I don't want to do that. I mean, look at the opportunities that I've gotten here because I'm here, and look at, what they've, done for me, and even putting that aside, like Apple, Gundam, like these are things that I would love to see a world where independent talents get a chance to get those opportunities. But as it stands right now, it's like a 0.01%. And it's so frustrating because I feel like if I complain too much about the company outwardly, people will be like, alright, well screw it, Maury's not happy there, I can't support Cover anymore, I can't support Hololive anymore. They leave, and then they're gone until I leave, and it's such a freaking hard situation to deal with. So that's the main reason why I don't speak very openly about issues that I have. But there was like a straw that broke the camel's back situation here, and because I don't want to leave, and because I really love being in Hololive, and all the girls that are here are so talented and cool, and my friends, and some of them feel like family to me, and I don't want to leave. Because of that, I said to Cover, like, we gotta talk about stuff, and there are these issues that I need you guys to, like, listen to me. And I wrote up my whole list, and, you know, a lot of my main, like, anger, which has been building recently, is about the show, the concert. I want it to be good, and I think the staff, like, hear me kind of loud and clear. So I'm not the only one complaining about this stuff. It's been rough. In regards to the Ian 4th concert, how I feel about it. I think it's gonna be a good show, but it's been really frustrating myself and some others. There's just too much stuff. Obviously, behind the scenes, I can't give details. I have to be vague. Contractually, I have to be vague. But I think the staff are working really hard to make a great show, but there are just so many logistical nightmares that, you know, I'm trying to tell them about, and, you know, it's worrisome for us because if the show isn't good, people won't buy tickets again, and if we don't sell tickets, there won't be another show, and we all want to do the show, and it's, yeah, troublesome. So I kind of got at them about that. You know, there are, like, other things that I'm, you know, unhappy about, and I can't, like, give, of course, details, but in terms of, like, collaborative, like, merchandise, you know, and whatnot, you know, if you compare that to talent premium goods and whatnot, you know, I want the deadbeats to buy the talent premium goods, right? Because I get the majority share for that, you know, but then, oh, really cool brand wants to collab with you, like, how about it? I'm like, yeah, let's go, what's the percent? And I'm like, well, now I kind of don't want to do it anymore, you know? So I'm negotiating with them on how we can change that for everyone, maybe, you know? Is what I'm pushing for. Hey, you guys, if you want to support the talents directly, buy the talent premium merch. I'm so serious. That is the main thing that you can do. Of course, the situation with having to pay, you know, a little extra money on things from Japan does not make things much better, so I understand why, you know, it might be kind of difficult to do right now. And maybe it is easier to, like, oh, you're walking through Hot Topic, you see a Mori shirt, I'm gonna grab that, you know? It's just easier, right? But, so I'm fighting with them about that. But I feel positive about it. I feel like they're listening to me. And then also just, I have a lot of, just like general feelings, about EN within Holo. When I spoke, I mentioned a little bit, like, members only post about, like, I feel undervalued and whatnot. It's not necessarily just me, because look at all the cool shit I've gotten to do, right? It's behind the scenes stuff that I think EN deserves a little more than they're getting in various points, I guess. It did kind of make me think, though, and I had a thought about even things like voice pack, like script and stuff like that. I was like, I think it's really nice that we can request to have, you know, staff write them for us, but, like, when it comes to EM members, I'm like, they really don't watch us or know us, huh? You know? Little things with, like, you know, messing up some EN talents' names or confusing them. You know, during certain times, I'm like, did you not know that this was Iris and not Bibu or something like that? It's just things like that, like, they piled up over time. And I started thinking to myself, I don't know how this makes me feel, you know? I mean, I think EN as a whole, there are little things behind the scenes. I wish I could give you more details, but, you know, some things are better left unsaid, I think. And just know that I think EN could be treated a little bit better behind the scenes, and lazy middle management. There's also that as well. So I complained a lot about that, a lot. Yeah, but the good news is there is, good news to all of this. That I had like a big meeting with them, and I gave them my long paragraph of things that I'm unhappy about, and I think you guys need to fix this and whatnot. And of course, there's a lot of, oh well, we'll see what we can do, but I also, they gave me like a date when they were gonna get back to me with the whole list of answers, and I asked, if I can have a meeting with higher ups if I need to at a certain point, because these things, I want them to be fixed, and I don't think they want me to go away. So I think that they will listen to me, and if they don't, then I'll just do it again. But I'm gonna take this moment, and I know maybe some deadbeats won't like it, and maybe will say like, oh, don't feel that way, or like, you don't need to tell us this kind of stuff and whatnot. But I feel like I'm gonna have a moment of, I'm just gonna be real honest with the deadbeats. Maybe not like in like an oversharing way, but just real candid with y'all. It's okay if you are not happy about it. But so the truth of the matter is, I think I've been lying to you guys, but also myself. Not specifically to you guys, but also myself. Which is, I am pretending that I like to stream more than I actually do. And there's a reason for it. There's a reason. You're not gonna like she lied to me specifically. You use that specific skeleton. I lied to him. No, there's a reason. I am lying to her. I knew it. That deadbeat knew it. She hates us. Not at all. This is not at all the truth. Yeah, and I've been lying to myself. That I'm trying to make myself believe that I enjoyed streaming for longer and more than I actually do. And the reason that I think I've been doing that to myself, it's not these people's fault. And I don't want people to think that I'm being too pressured or whatever. But to be extremely honest with y'all, there are a lot of folks who I see their comments that see me as like, as it stands, the face of EN, as it stands right now. Not everybody feels this way, by the way. There's also a lot of people who don't feel this way, but there are a lot of people that do. And because of that, I look at my analytics like really hard, like really intensely, and I don't talk about it out loud because of things like pride and stuff like that, and just, don't let them know that you care about this stuff and whatnot. But when I look at like my own personal like number, she's being a number friend, she's a fucking number friend. It's like I look at them and I think to myself with my own like standards, like at myself, I think these aren't the numbers of somebody who is the face of something. And I thought the only way that I could like fix it was, well, maybe I'm like, not entertaining enough to like, I'm not like the best streamer in the world, so I can't really bring in a ton of people to watch me. That's fine. I'll make up for it by streaming all the time. The number fiends, here they are. There are some of us who look at these things and we kind of care a little bit about them. It's not the only thing that matters, but I envision 10 years from now and I think about that kind of stuff, and I gotta know if what I'm doing is like working or not, and should I change something? I don't know what's gonna happen in the future, etc. Crazy talk. But like I look at those like analytics and like statistics and stuff like that, and I think to myself, well, maybe I can't, like I can't push myself beyond what I am. I can't be more than what I am. I think there are things that I'm better at than streaming, so maybe I should like, just stream a ton so that I can, the watch hours, they'll eventually go to the moon. And even with that aside, it like felt like a way for me to like make up for it and make up for myself, and also the way that I was when I joined Holo, streaming what, like an hour? Yeah, that's enough. I've clocked in my hour at Holo, I hate that I was that way, you know? I had like this huge, amazing opportunity, and I feel like I just kind of squandered it. And so it was also another way for me to be like, I'm not the me that I was when I started this journey. I can stream for a gazillion hours, etc. Look at me. I have the endurance to do that and whatnot. But I think at the end of the day, it like stresses me out a lot, and I don't really like it very much. I keep pretending I'm lying directly to myself. No, this is good. We can do another 12 tomorrow. You know? Like, what the fuck? Why am I doing that to myself? You know? And I guess I felt, it's so stupid, but I thought to myself, sorry, deadbeat, sorry, you know, the person that you see as the face of EN isn't good enough to have kept up the momentum that I had years ago, is like what I was thinking to myself. Which is stupid because there's also the fact that 5-6 years ago, you had 5 people to choose from. You have 5 streamers, you have 5 VTubers to choose from. Who do you want to watch? This one seems good. Alright. Now we're many years down the line, and this industry has grown so much. There's a person out there that will fit the exact thing that you like, and the exact like personality that you like, and there's so many wonderful people out there to watch. It's like a really saturated market, and I think it's maturing at this point. You know, there are a lot of other folks that are doing cool stuff out there, and I looked at me not being able to keep all that momentum from years ago, and my first immediate thought was like, yeah, I'm not good enough, I suck. Man, that's so lame that I thought that, but I did. And yeah, so I thought the only way that I can remedy this is if I just stream forever and ever as much as I can. If I'm not recording a song, all right, put in an 8-hour stream. Maybe not 8, more like 6. But you know, I think it's a tough situation for me mentally, who's been trying to like get my confidence up over the years, and I've been doing a pretty good job at it, but I still kind of stumble and fall and whatnot. And so I think it's probably better for me to just not care about those things and just stream as much as I want to, which I think at a certain point I want to do a schedule where it's like 5 days a week for like the same time being like 3 to 4 hours or something like that, you know? So I'm gonna get back up, and I'm gonna get back into it, and I'm not gonna keep lying to myself thinking that I love streaming these long hours. I love streaming every single day as much as possible. You know, I think that would be for the better, and maybe things can't be like they were 5-6 years ago in the beginning of EN, and I think that's alright. I've like kind of come to terms with that over the past 2 weeks, and like talking to friends, and like, you know, looking at myself and what I've done. I mean, I make songs for anime. Do I need to have a gajillion streaming hours to be somebody that is, you know, talking to the other girls about it and stuff like that? You know, their advice was to be somebody like the face. It's not like you have to have a gajillion streaming hours or a gajillion watch hours or million CCV or anything like that. Sometimes what you need to do is just be like a good friend and leader to people that are looking up to you and help them and stuff like that. And I think I want to do stuff like that, you know, and maybe search for my own success in ways that aren't streaming a million hours. You know, I'm glad that they kind of knocked that sense into me. I really appreciate the other girls. They're always there for me to, you know, make me see reason. So I appreciate that very much. And yeah, I think that's what I'm gonna do from here on out. So that compounded with the issues I was having with cover behind the scenes, it all just came tumbling down, you know. Yeah, so I will just go ahead and run forward and just, you know, do other stuff that I like doing. And that doesn't mean I'm gonna stop streaming or anything like that. I do enjoy it. I just don't like doing it for a million hours at a time, and I get tired of it. And you know, I start all these long games. Yeah. I wasn't really sure if I was like completely ready to come back to being streaming and active and whatnot, because I still had some personal things to work through and whatnot. But I feel like things have like, I'm like in a good headspace now where I like have sat down and I like recognize where I'm at and how I feel about like myself and my work, and you know what I want cover to change and fix, and how we can work together to do that, you know, get things on a brighter path. And I did kind of, I felt like I have to come back today, but I'm glad that I did, because I feel like my head's clear now. Things feel like they're looking up, and I think it's been a really dark time in general for Holo. I'm not the only one that feels this way. It's been a dark time, but because there's so many good things on the horizon too, I also feel like if we as a group can stick through it and just be there for each other and support each other, and if our fans are here supporting us and still pushing us forward, if we can just do that for a bit longer, I think a really golden, amazing time is coming up. But it all depends on how things go this year and next year, I feel. You know? Is how I feel about it. So as a group effort, you know, the talents and the fans all together, if we just, you know, be strong during this kind of darker time, and it's a pretty dark time, I think there's a really great, you know, light at the end of the tunnel. So I don't know, I'm really grateful to all of you guys, like Holo fans that are here at this stream right now, for like not giving up on us, if that makes any sense. Despite all the like dark stuff that's happened and whatnot, and you know, folks leaving and, you know, pursuing a path that's better for them and stuff, I'm really grateful that you guys have not lost faith in us. Those of you that are here, thank you. And we'll keep, you know, making it up to you guys by doing what we do. You're stuck with me now, sorry.